Hello and welcome to the channel. I know I've spent quite a bit of time talking about how to buy a house, what to look for when you're buying a house, what mistakes to avoid when you're purchasing a home, but I haven't really spent a lot of time talking about how to prepare for home ownership. So what happens after you buy a house. So I'm going to be talking about that with you guys today. But before we get started, my name is Eleah Sims. I'm part of the Gateway Realty team here in Melfort, Saskatchewan. If you are interested in learning more about buying and selling real estate, then make sure you subscribe to this channel. All right, so let's get started. I personally think that being a homeowner is a big deal, and I think there's a level of maturity that goes along with being a good homeowner. So I also think a lot of people can buy a house. You can go to the bank, you can get pre-approved for a mortgage, and you can buy a house, but not every owner is a good homeowner. So I want to go over today how you can become a good homeowner. So the number one thing that you want to do is budget. So you're going to have a budget for basically everything. So not just your mortgage and your bills, but also you're going to want to budget for home repairs and improvements. So there are a lot of things that can come up unexpectedly when you own a home. And then there's other things that are more like improvements or just things that you are going to be expecting to have to pay for that you can save for months in advance so that you have the money when you need it. So you're obviously going to be paying for more than your mortgage, utilities, insurance, and your taxes. So I'll give you guys an example of something that can be an unexpected cost. So within the last month, me and my husband had to replace our water heater, and this was definitely unexpected because our water heater was only 5.5 years old, and that's not a very long time to have a water heater. So when I went downstairs to switch over the laundry, there was a puddle of water on the floor, kind of draining into the floor drain, and it was right under the water heater, and I knew that it was going to have to be replaced, and that was something that had to be done like literally that day so that we had hot water. So something that you can expect to pay for probably at some point while you're owning a home and you can save for in advance are shingles. So you can get a professional to come take a look at your shingles and let you know how many years you have left before they need replaced. And then you don't have to feel stressed about having to pay for that because you will have been able to save for it for maybe a couple of years, hopefully. So the second thing that you need to do to be a good homeowner is make sacrifices. So what I mean by sacrifices are in the form of sacrificing your money and also your time. So there's going to be things that you're going to have to pay for, just like I was talking about kind of in the first point, but there's things you're going to have to be paying for, repairs or improvements that maybe you don't really want to pay for it. You'd rather pay for a hobby or go shopping or something like that. But it's a sacrifice that you're going to have to make a lot of times just to keep up your house and to keep it in good shape. And the other sacrifice that a lot of times you have to make is your time. So there's a lot of weekends that you're going to be spending maintaining things and doing work on your house. So in the spring, for example, there's a lot of spring cleanup that needs to be done in the yard. You could be cleaning out your eaves troughs, washing your windows, painting your trims. And then of course there's spring cleaning to even do inside of your house. So this is a big sacrifice to actually spend the money and spend the time to keep up your house. But it's going to make your home a much better place to live in. So the third thing you're going to want to do to be a good homeowner is have a sort of maintenance plan. So this is just going to be something to sort of keep you on track so that you are maintaining things and keeping up with the regular maintenance of your home. And the longer that you have a house, those things will kind of just come naturally, and you'll be able to just kind of notice, oh, this needs done or this needs done, and you can just tackle it right away. So if you're maintaining things properly, then you're gonna save yourself a lot of money later on. And I'll give you an example of this. So if you have wood trim around your doors and around your windows on the exterior of your home, well, then it will have been painted. And what happens over time, just from rain and snow and just the weather, is that that paint will start to wear, it'll start to chip off. And it's really, really important that you keep up with painting that wood trim, because otherwise the wood is going to be exposed to the elements, it's going to get damaged, and what's going to end up happening is that you're going to have to replace the entire thing. So it's going to cost you a lot more money to replace it than if you had just kept up with the painting. So that's an example of that. And another form of maintenance, regular maintenance, is cleaning. So if you have anything and you keep it clean, it's going to last a lot longer. So the fourth thing you're gonna wanna do to be a good homeowner is be prepared to learn some new skills. So another way to save yourself some money is to do a lot of this work yourself. If you're hiring somebody to do, for example, yard work, like cutting your grass or landscaping, if you're hiring someone to do all of this work all of the time, it's gonna cost you a lot more money. Another skill that is really good to learn is painting. You can improve, most of the rooms in your house just with paint. You can paint your walls, you can paint cupboards, all of your trim, your baseboards. You can just do so many projects around the house with paint. And so that's a really good skill to learn. And just don't be afraid to try something, and maybe it doesn't turn out that great the first time, but the more you do it, the better you're going to get. Now, there are obviously some things that should be left to the professionals, so I don't want to leave that tip out just because I don't want you to think that everything should be a DIY project. There's definitely things that, like I said, should be left to the professionals, but there are a lot of things that you can learn yourself. You can hop on YouTube and watch a quick video on how to fix something or how to do something that you've never tried before. And that's a really good way to help you become a good homeowner. So these are my tips for you guys today. I know that I've kind of made it sound like a lot of work to be a homeowner, and in some ways that it is, but it truly is one of the most satisfying things to own your own home, to work really hard, to take pride in your home and the property that you have, especially if you take really good care of it. And the other thing I want to mention is when you do repairs and maintenance and improvements on your home, then it is going to help your property appreciate in value over many years of owning that property. So that's going to help when you go to sell that property later on, that it's going to have held that value, and hopefully the value also would have increased. So that's it for today, you guys. Thank you so much for tuning in, and I'll see you next week.